guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. This is Knallgas TV. My videos so far have all been in German because I'm a native German, but I thought why not test it out to talk to you guys in English so that a wider audience can enjoy my videos. If you like that, feel free to subscribe, give a thumbs up to the video. To my German audience, die mich kennen, ich spreche normalerweise Deutsch. In diesem Video spreche ich mal Englisch, mal einfach so als Test für mich, als Mini-YouTuber, um zu schauen, ob vielleicht noch anderen Leuten auf diesem großen Planeten, wovon sehr, sehr viele Englisch sprechen, aber sehr, sehr wenige Deutsch, ob denen meine Videos auch gefallen. Let's get to it. This video is about a certain car that I absolutely love. As a German, I'm living quite, not really, but nearby to the famous Nürburgring, to the Nordschleife. I have like a little kink about, I'm really into Porsche. I can't afford a real Porsche and I like RC cars, so why not build one myself? This video is supposed to show you how to build one using the Tamiya TT-02 kit. With Christmas right around the corner, you might want to look out for a great Christmas present like this one. You have something to build, something to enjoy, to look at. It looks really fantastic and you can have fun with it. So maybe you should consider purchasing one of these kits. They are also very cheap for an RC car. This is also very affordable. So let's dive in. What do we want to build today? We are building this. This is the Tamiya TT-02 Porsche 911 GT3. As you can see, it is displayed here on the front. One of the most beautiful cars in the world, in my opinion. And it's in a scale of 1 to 10. It's a builder's kit, so you have to build it yourself. This is what this video is about. So, it's ready to assemble. It includes a speed controller and a brushed motor. We're gonna use these components. We'll build it as like it is supposed from the factory. At first. This video is also meant to be start of a new series. We're gonna build this car, we're gonna upgrade it. Video to video, certain parts like suspension, engine or motor, speed controller motor, servo, steering, tires, everything. We're gonna go step by step what you can purchase for little money, for a little bit more money, and how you can improve the overall performance of the car. Let's get to it. I'm gonna provide everything in this video what you need tools-wise, what you need material-wise, because not everything that you need to run this car is included in the box. There's very much included in the box, but not everything. So let's take a look what we are gonna need. So this is the kit. When you purchase it, we've got the Porsche 911 GT3. It's a 992 series, so it's the actual car, like you can buy it at the Porsche dealership right now. We got some visuals of the car when it's completed. We have independent suspension, front and rear. We've got the engine on the right hand side. We got the battery at the left hand side. We got a phone bumper or urethane. I'm gonna butcher the beautiful English language. I'm very sorry. We got a little bumper at the front. We can see that everything is made out of plastic. For now, we've got independent shocks, front and rear. That's basically it. So it's shaft driven, so the engine is connected to this drive shaft through gears at this location right here. And it drives the shaft to the differential in front and the back, and that drives the tires. What do you need else? So you need the kit itself, and you're gonna need a remote of your choice. This is my remote. It's a Spectrum DX5C. I use this for most of my RC cars. I've got a few of them, so I'm looking to get this as a first RC car. Make sure that you are purchasing a radio for yourself. They come quite cheap, they come quite expensive. It depends what you want to have. You need a receiver. This is the little brain of a car, in this case a Spectrum SR315. It's a 3-channel receiver. You have the steering, thrust and an auxiliary for maybe if you want a lightning kit, if you want to build some LEDs to the car, you can switch them over here with a 3rd channel. And you're gonna need one of these this is a fairly inexpensive focus steering servo. I ripped this one out of one of my old cars. You can purchase these for little money. So let's keep moving on. What else do we need? To operate the car, you are going to need a LiPo battery. You can use the old style, I don't know the English explanation for it. It's a 6-volt battery pack, not up to date anymore. We're gonna use one of those. This is a LiPo battery. It's a 2S, 7.4 volts with 4,200 milliamps and a charger. You can purchase any LiPo charger that you want. This is mine. It's a little bit beat up. Has seen some work in its days. That's basically it. But in the kit there are some plastic bearings that are actually no good. I've got some experience in the building of Tamiya cars, and the plastic bushings or plastic bearings are really not great. So if you want to only display the car and not actually drive it, they're fine. Absolutely perfect. Put them in, put the car on your desk or elsewhere, no problem. But elsewhere, you're gonna need this. That's a metal bearing kit. It comes pretty cheap. This one was 14 euros and 39 cents. Not that bad. Let's get to it. Let's rip the package open and see what we got. I'm sorry guys, I almost forgot the tools you're gonna need. That's basically it. You are gonna need a Phillips screwdriver because Tamiya cars are mostly Phillips head screws. You're also gonna need a soldering iron. Mine is gas powered. You can use an electric one if you like. And a connector that fits your type of battery, because the Tamiya plug is, you can use it, but then you're gonna need some adapters to fit your battery because they are kind of outdated, and some solder. We also have an overview of some not included upgrades on this side of the box. Pretty nice that Tamiya makes sure you know where to spend your money on. Let's open it up. Always a nice moment, I guess. So, let's see. All the parts are in this kind of, I have no English explanation for this. You have to break loose the part out of this plastic thingy. I don't have no explanation for it. So it's all packed up in plastic, ready to unpack. Here we have some drive shaft. These are the out cups or out drives. These are for the wheels itself. So here we have some other parts. All these parts are branded. Here is a D marked on it. There's a D on it. And in the instructions, there's always marked out which of these bags you're gonna need. So let's rip that open. A nice Tamiya branding on the receiver box. Here we have the motor mounts. Oh, this is for engine cooling, motor cooling, and a heat shield. This is the battery strap. This car, the TT-02, is a new one for me also. So we're going to discover this together. I've built TT-01s, a few of them, DT-03s. I've had some under my belt, M06 and some others. So this is the speed controller, which is included. You can use this one for brushed motors, 2 to 3S LiPo, so we can use our 2S. There are some speed controllers that can handle brushless and brushed motors, but this one doesn't. So, and it has a T plug or Dean's plug for the battery. I don't use these anymore, so I'm gonna need this XT60 I showed you earlier. We'll come to that part later. So this is a heavy bag. We're seeing the coils, the actual motor, some gears, the plastic bushings. Throw these away. These are rubbish or garbage, or I don't know. Das ist Müll in German. But we're gonna need this bag. There is some weight to it. We've got the servo savers in there. Servo saver. Saver. Wow. Excuse my pronunciation. We've got plastic gears. Everything is plastic. And plastic is not a bad thing. It's light, it's cheap. And if you break something, it's not the end of the world. So why not? Here we have some metal parts, the screws, some screws, everything is flip set. Coils, a tool to mount the tires, more screws, some foam thingy, we're gonna see about that. Like I said, the torque tuned motor. It's a 540, it's a Mabushi RS 540. We're gonna use this for now. We're gonna upgrade it later. Servo saver, bushings in plastic, garbage. The clips for the body, more screws and some cable ties. We're gonna need all of this, mostly all of this. Some more plastic. This is for the body. We're gonna focus on building the car today. The body is in a separate video, which is gonna be online in a few days. So brings us to the body shell. It's not painted, so you're gonna need to paint it in your color of choice. I'm gonna put this aside for now because separate video. As there's light buckets, the spoiler, the wing, English. Here we have the tires, the standard tires for this car. Most cup cars or GT cars come with slicks. This one has some profile to it. We're gonna use this at first. We're gonna upgrade later. This is the main chassis. It's already assembled. It's one piece. We're all definitely gonna need that. And some more plastic. Here we also have the rims. Gonna need them later. And more plastic. This is instruction for painting the body. Here's our foam bumper, also later. Important, wichtig, garbage. The most important thing is this. This is the assembly instruction for the chassis itself. So everything is marked out, how to use the kit, how to build it, what you are gonna need. Everything in nice steps. We're gonna start at 1. Okay, we need to make sure that we check which wheelbase we're gonna need. This is going to be, I guess, 257. You can start charging your battery with a compatible charger, like I showed you earlier. And this is where it gets interesting. Here you have all the parts listed up, what you are gonna need for this step of assembly. Here is how to do it. So let's make room and start working on the car. Also, we have some masking here for the body to paint it, and some decals. But this is gonna be in the body video. Little tip from myself. I always use this little bowl here for all the screws and metal parts so they don't get lost, and I always have a good view of them and have your screws ready to go. Let's see. Oh, all the small parts are pretty small. Oh, you got some grease also. We're definitely gonna need that. Here, Like, check this out. This is pretty damn small. So we're gonna put it inside here. The instructions on these Tamiya cars are incredibly good. So you can always check, like, what is this screw? It's an MA2 by 2, 3 by 10. Okay, you can measure it, but you can also go like this and check. This is white, so it's a light color. It's a silver screw, and you can put it right here. Fits perfectly. So this is the right screw we're gonna need. And the whole process of building the car is just like that. You look for what parts you need and build it step by step. It's pretty easy, and it's part of the hobby. It's part of the fun. So let's see. Oh, we also got a little Allen key. As you can see here, plastic bearing. We're not gonna use this. We're gonna check our bag of metal ball bearings. So I'm also gonna put them right there, so I can have a little space for myself here. So it looks like we're gonna need this one. Let's check it. Fits. Seems a little too small. So we're gonna take a little bigger one. Perfect. We're gonna need this one, and times 2, we're gonna need 2 of them. Put them aside. We're gonna need a shaft. Also, a little pro tip: if you're building with parts that are incredibly small and you have big fingers like me, grab some pliers. So we're gonna need this very small shaft. So we're gonna need the spur gear stopper, GB3 spur gear stopper. Looks kind of like this. So we're gonna remove it from its little plastic thing. Yeah, looks exactly like this. And we are gonna need C5. C5 is right here. This is the tray. It's called tray. Okay, the tray number C. This is C. This is C5. I hope you can see this. So we're gonna remove it. Now be carefully. We're gonna need a knife and cut off the excess. So nice and smooth. Let's check this. A ball bearing. This little friend right here. What is it called? Spur gear stopper. You notice I did something wrong. It comes like this. So we're also going to need GB5. This little fellow. Where is it? This buddy right here. Let's put it right there. So can you see this? Just like that. You take that part just like it is mentioned in the instructions, and you just put it on, followed by another bearing and GB2. Let's see, bevel pinion gear. So let's put this on, and there we have the finished part. That's all you gotta do. That's really all you gotta do. Follow the steps and make sure you don't lose anything. And then you're gonna succeed. As you might notice, here we have a little sign. Okay, here we have a little sign that says we need to lubricate this. So we're gonna take our trusty Tamiya grease, pinch it open, and we're gonna grease on this shaft right here, and right about here in front. So put this aside. This can be a little bit messy, so don't do it in the house, or else the mistress is going to get a little bit upset. Or just work very carefully. So let's see. Put it on like this. Take a look at this. There's right. So now the shaft, the main shaft goes in here and in our previous build part. So not so bad. Oh, I forgot to grease up right here. It can happen, so let's see. Always double check. I forgot this, so now I have to redo it. Little grease. Put this back on. Make sure we got a good fit. So we're So just like this, and just put it in the shaft. It's kind of tricky, this part. So right now we're gonna need our chassis. So, and we're gonna put the main shaft in. Make sure that you fit the bearings where they are supposed to go. Just like this. There are some grooves here where the bearings have to align with. Just like this. So moving on, we've got to take our tapping screws, 2 of them, and D2. Where is D2? This is D. This is D2. There's something else. D15. Forgot about D15. So let's see. D15. Where do we have you? It is not on this tray, so there's another tray with D. B, B, A, A. Okay. Now I need to check. Ah, it is. It is on the tray, right? It's right here. So we're gonna remove it. And just gently slide it in, like so. Make sure everything moves freely. Seems kind of nice. So now we're going to take D2 and our tapping screws. Where did I put my screwdriver? I always put it to weird spaces. Screwdriver, screw. Don't use power tools. You can if you want to, but I do absolutely not recommend it, because you're putting metal screws into plastic. So the risk of stripping the threads is, or stripping the hole where the screw is supposed to go, is very, very, very high. So you have to be very gentle and do not over tighten it. And as I mentioned, power tools are an option if you are very, very, very carefully, but I will not recommend it. So I guess I'm not going to show you every step of the build, because it would be a horrifically long video. I'm gonna focus on the main parts. So see you in a bit. So if you're building this kit with the Porsche body, you might need to look for the direction of these how do you call them? Of these suspension arms, because if you flip them, you are building the shorter wheelbase one. So make sure that you mount them this way. This is for... So now we've got another interesting step. We're gonna mount the motor. So you've got to make sure that you aim for the right holes, because in this case we are using a 22 tooth pinion, and where we have it, it's already mounted this, and we are using the kit gears. So the 22 tooth pinion, I did not catch, I guess it was 70. How many are there on here? I don't really know. We have to make sure that we get this part right here. This is the motor mount, and we aim for these holes, because the motor sits like this, and you can mount it for some different gear ratios. So make sure that you use this little paper Dichtung, I don't know the English word, seal, paper seal, and yeah, let's move along. So we remove this little tube thingy right here, get rid of it. Now we take black 3x8 screws, one, and this is why I'm not showing everything. this video would be incredibly long if I would do that. It's gonna be long anyways, but I want to stretch this out too much. So I will put this on here, check for the right direction, like this, so we can see the threads. Then we're gonna go like this and insert our screws. Don't over tighten them, you don't want to rip out the threads. So now these holes are perfectly aligned. We're going to insert the other screw. It's not perfectly aligned, it's the wrong hole. So let's check. Or no, I've got the wrong screw, it's too thin. So let's check again for the correct one. Like a needle in a haystack. So we got the correct one, perfectly aligned. This is to set the gear mesh correctly. So the distance between the gears, the spur gear and pinion and spur must be perfect so it does not strip all the time. So you can use other gears to make the car faster or slower, but we are going to build it like it is supposed to out of the box. We're going to upgrade it. We're going to put some upgrades in there, massive upgrades, like another combination of motor and ESC, but not today. Today we're going to build it like it is supposed to from the factory. So let's see, we got the smallest screw you can, the smallest grub screw you can imagine, together with the pinion. Just slightly put it in. That's what she said. Then we're gonna slide it onto the motor right here. And myself, I'm always making sure I set in the motor first and check the alignment, so that, like you can see right here, I hope you can see that, the spur and the pinion do not align right now. So we need to go like this, at least. Now we can go into the grub screw and position it correctly and tighten it down like this. So now it's perfectly aligned. You can check the movement of the gears, the gear mesh by hand. Looks pretty awesome by me. Tamiya says to put some grease on it. I'm going to do that. But at first we check, okay, the engine mount is going to be supposed to be tightened down with screws. So we're going to grease it up nicely here. Perfect. Let's take the cover. That's this little body right here. Zoom out a little. Prepare the edges again. Looks fine. And set it down. It clicks into, or it mounts to the motor mount. So we've got pressure from above and we've got screws from beyond. Again, 3x10. Those little buddies go right here. 1, 2, 3, and here's number 4. It's right in there. I'm gonna tighten these, and I see you on the next interesting part. So this is what we are working with right now. We've got the arms complete. We've got the motor in the car. It seems to come together pretty nicely. Everything is plastic. It is what it is, but it's kind of cool. So now we have the uppers mounted, the arms mounted. Everything is moving nice and freely. So now we can go ahead and assemble the shocks, the dampeners. So let's go ahead, put the car aside, check on our instructions. We're gonna need everything times 4, the coils, got them already here, B3, which is this one right here. The top part is B15. We have B10. Over here. B9. This is over here. The springs. 10, 9, 6, 3, and that's kind of it. So we just pushing them together right here. Let me just clean this up. Only put them together like this. Push in this little part. Hope you can see this. It looks like this. Then we have our ring right here, coil, and we missed something. We need B16, which is this guy. So let's put it off, do a little cleanup.
just like this. You need to make sure that you align them like they are right here. So let's see. Then you just simply push them in, give them a 90-degree twist, and we are done. So I'm going to build all 4 of them like this. We are going to use these original shocks at first, but we're going to upgrade later, because as I mentioned, I want to show you in this video series what the upgrades, what your tuning brings to the table. Like if you mount some new shocks, what does it get you as a result? Does it make the car faster or does it make the car slower? But in this case, in case of the shocks, I guess that it's pretty clear that some upgraded shocks will help the car's performance. But we're gonna do it anyways and see if we can evaluate this a little bit more scientifically. Not like, okay, we got some nice alloy dampers right here, but they look amazing, they are pretty damn amazing. But what does it really mean, or how does it really help the driving? Do they actually bring an improvement for your driving style? So all of our shocks are built, looking pretty nice. Now we have to install them on the car. Now we have to install them on the car, just like it is shown right here. We're gonna need some special screws for that, which are these little fellows here. We're gonna need 4 for the rear and 4 for the front of the car. So let's see, we got screws right here, we got everything we need. They fit in here quite perfectly. So this is front dampeners, so you can see better. And try to use a good screwdriver. This one is pretty beat up already. Let's see if this one does grab a little better. No. What about this one? Okay, I'm gonna use this one. It's the best I have. I repeat, you can use power tools if you are very, very carefully, but I'm not recommending it, because the risk of stripping out the plastic is very, very real. But I do have to admit, they make much jobs here pretty easy, or much easier and faster. So now this is looking fine. So first one is assembled. So I'm going to do the other ones. So we mounted the shocks, all 4 of them. So now we're going to go ahead and start with the linkage system for the steering. So we're gonna need B11, those guys right here. Well, let's check if we can see them. Yep. Let's rotate them free. One, two, three. And where's the other? 4. So MB1, and 2 of them, and then we're going to use B12. Two times. And A3 2 times. A3 is over here. And sometimes it's easier to just cut the piece off the frame. Always remember to clean up those messy parts. So let's see. These guys need to go inside here. So you just go ahead, hold them like this, grab a pair of pliers, and gently but firmly make them go in. So it looks like this. No, it does not focus again. Pretty simple. If you don't have cold fingers like I do, you can also just press them in with your fingers. Works actually pretty fine. You don't need the pliers. So there we go. 2 times. And then it's mounted like this, screw into. Now check for the direction right here. How this is meant to go. So part like this, lower like this, and take your trusty screwdriver, and don't do it as sloppy as I. And gently screw in. So the part looks like I'm too. So here it is. So we're gonna need this 2 times. Again, check for the direction of the part. and go for it. Don't stick yourself with a screwdriver. I did now a bunch of times in this video. Make sure it moves nice and easy. Perfect. So, next step is to attach those guys to the car. So we got the longer black screws or gray screws. You're supposed to put a dab of grease onto the screws. I like to go like this. Just a dab here. I'm gonna put some in here. And just put the screw in. And then you can go mount up. Oh, we're gonna need the washers, MB6, 2 of them. MB1, where do these go? Ah, right there. Okay, we're gonna need the short screws also. Okay, let's see. So we're going inside here. Oh, okay. And remember, don't over tighten it. It needs to be firm but loose at the same time, so it can move freely, not have too much play in here. This looks pretty awesome. So, wrong screw. Then we're gonna go on the outer hole right here. Oh, come on. Don't press too hard here. You don't want to break things before you even drove it. So this is looking kind of nice. Now we're gonna mount up the other side. So let's see. We got this step completed. Now it's time for some electronics. So we're gonna put this aside, and let's see, we're gonna need our radio, the receiver, a battery pack, the ESC, the servo, and the parts for the servo saver. Servo saver. So this is our electronic speed controller. I do not like these plugs. It's not my favorite one in the world. I'm either way for now gonna use an adapter, or do I have one? For now I have an adapter. I'm gonna change this connector as soon as possible, but probably not on camera because my soldering is kind of messy. So I can connect a 2S LiPo to this, and we're gonna take our receiver, radio, receiver, servo, the radio, and the LiPo with the XT60 connector. XT60 to XT90. So let's see how we can fix this with some adaptation. Oh, I have a little 3S LiPo right here. It's only for testing out. So we're gonna connect the electronic speed controller with this cable right here to the second channel, the steering servo to the first channel, and there we go. Now I'm going to have to bind up the receiver to my remote. It's pretty easy with my remote right here. So we got new model 9. Binding. Connect our battery. This looks good. So our receiver is bound to the radio, and as you can see in here, the servo is working. So we are gonna center it up like this. It is already in 100% in the middle, and now we're gonna take the other parts we're gonna need, like D10. Where are you? Where did I put them? D11. So let's see, we're gonna need P5, which is it's right here. So we're gonna mount it up, take our saving unit, attach it like this, so there's some tension on it. Okay, and then we're gonna go take D10, which is this, put it in here as well, so our part looks like this. Focus. So, oh, a little cleanup. Always clean up. Okay, now let's see, we're gonna need a spacer, P1. And we're gonna mount this part 90 degrees, take a look at the servo. Just like this, or as nearly in this orientation as you can. 90 degrees is the goal. We're gonna need some adjustment. It just doesn't work else. So we're gonna take our little spacer, put it in, and then we're gonna need our screw back. You can check which screw you need on here. This is a Carson servo. I know that this will fit because the same steering rack, the nearly same identical steering rig was on it when it was mounted in my TT-01. So we got it mounted up. It is a little bit off, but looks good for me. So we're gonna turn off the system right here. I'm removing the servo cable from the receiver and put this on the side. So now we're gonna follow the next step, which is gonna be completing the servo. So we're gonna need MB1 times 2. MB6 is our little washers. This is way too small. It's another one, it's MC9. So here we got MB6 times 2, MC3, which are the black little ones, 3x8, 1, 2. Okay, now we're gonna read B11. B11, we got them right here. So those are not spares, we're gonna need them. Times 2. D6 is right over here. No, it ain't. Is it D6? D6, okay. This is this is D. So we're gonna need D6 and A5. A5 is right here. So we're going to remove this. Alright, did I miss something? No, okay. Now we're going to mount them up just like this again. That's harder than the other ones. Nah, I'm gonna need my pliers. It's nicely. And again. Going in. Perfect. So we're gonna mount it like this with an MB1 screw to the middle hole right there. Again, a lovely screw which is proud to be finger killer. I really need a new screwdriver. This one is really cooked. But it has seen some work in its days. So let's see that we got this pretty snug. Okay, then we're gonna need our servo. Take the other MB1, put it right through here, like this, and it attaches to the servo horn. Again, lovely job to kill your fingers or to hurt yourself. So watch what you're doing. So, looking kind of sketchy, but it's supposed to be like this. So now we're gonna go this step, A12. A12 is right over here. Just wiggle it off. Whoop. Just wiggle it off. Take it like this. Then you are gonna go ahead, take the little black screws, a 3x, it's 3x8. And screw them to the part. This is kind of tricky. But we're gonna have to do it anyway. So nice and tight. Take the other one and also mount it. So now I made a little mistake. You only go for the top holes. You can screw in 2 bolts right here, screws, sorry, but they're not listed here, so we're just gonna go like this. Next step is attaching this heat shield to the, this cap to the heat shield, and the heat shield to the car. You can mount a cooling fan right here. There are 4 holes in here, so that you can mount up a standard cooling fan. I don't have one right here actually, well, as for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount it just like it is supposed to be. And if I'm not mistaken, it is gonna be mounted like this. Yep. So this right here works just like an air duct, so it pushes air to the motor. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble this. We need MC3, so it's the little black ones right here. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And no, we're only going to need them. So I'm just going to place them in here. So I mounted this up. This is quite a pain to get the screws in because this does not want to go flat. So we are not gonna attach, okay, we're not gonna attach the switch like this, because this is only working with a switch from Tamiya. This one here is does not have the correct form, or it does not fit. So we're gonna have to see if we can mount it up in another way. We're gonna do that later. Let's mount the servo like we are told. So let's see, we got MB4. MB4 are the black ones with a standoff. So it goes just like this. We're gonna remove the cables right here. So this is a little bit tricky. So it tells us to lubricate this again. We're gonna do one after the other. So now this one, lubrication, little dab of grease. So if you haven't already, please feel free to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. The standard YouTubers sentence. I'm trying to talk to you guys right now and work on the car at the same time, which is not really easy for me. So please excuse my slow talking. I'm not the best at this. So let's see. Okay, we got this mounted up. Now we're gonna use the bolts right here, which are MA3. MA3 are the silver ones, which are tapping screws. I hope you can see this okay. It's really... Let's see if we can show it to YouTube like this. Those need to go in there. So we're gonna get the car on the side, on its roof, and place the screws right here. It's really hard to aim it like this, but we're gonna make it anyways. So let's see if I can make this work. see, where are you? Whoa, 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 whoa. Not as easy as I wanted to make it look. So, right here. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, gotcha. Alright, we mounted the servo. Now it tells us to mount up D12, which is a guide for our receiver antenna, which we're gonna do. Let me check. It's right over here. This little guy. So let's see. I'm gonna remove my cable right here. The receiver is supposed to be mounted like this. Pretty small for this this spot, but okay. So we're gonna put in the wire, the antenna. Let's get these cables out of the way and mount it up like this. Actually, I don't. Okay, now I see. So we're gonna get it up here. Take our screw. Nah. Okay, I'm gonna remove this and find another solution for it, or do it up later, because it's supposed to be working with another receiver, which is designed in another way. So we're going to put this aside for now and hook it up later. So where are we? Okay, it wants us to mount the receiver right now and the speed controller. So okay, the receiver goes on top of our servo, and the speed controller goes into this space right here between the engine and the servo. We're only going to use a small portion of this sticky tape. Is it? Yes, it is. Because our receiver is pretty small. So let's go ahead. And mount this up. So we're gonna put it on here. Remove the other side. And then just want it facing this way. Push it onto our servo. Okay, this is done. Now we're gonna use the other, or actually I'm gonna hook this up later because I need to solder on a new connector. This is easier if you are doing it out of the car. So I'm personally going to do it later. You can always feel free to mount it right now. So, I mean, what we can do is we can check. We got no bearings in, okay. So we can check for function of the car. So if everything works correctly. So connect your motor wires, reconnect speed controller, servo. Like this. And like that. So always make sure you put this in the correct direction. So it will sit like this afterwards. Hook up the battery. Control is on. Receiver's on. So our steering works fine. Left is left, right is right. And our engine is working and it's going in the correct direction. Perfect. So let's see, what does the instruction want us to do now? For now, it wants to build us the wheels. So we're gonna go ahead and do as told. These are the wheels and tires. They are supposed to be without without any inlays. So we're gonna do as told because we want to have a clear difference if we're changing the wheels in later in the series. So this is gonna be nice. Oh, they look amazing. The wheels on this look absolutely perfect. It's a Porsche wheel, or Y-spoke, or however you want to call it. I think they look amazing, especially for an RC car. So let's see. This is a road car, a GT3, not the GT3 RS or GT3 Cup. So Tamiya includes these tires. They are treaded, they are soft, and we have some writing on the side. Tamiya Racing, the part number, or no, it's it's 270 by 30, 19 inch. Oh, okay, nice. So these are mounted up like the following. Just go ahead, squeeze them on, just like this. And the rim has some grooves, so you're gonna recognize when you are all done, when they are nicely in. So just like this. So this is our assembled wheel. I'm going to glue them up like we are told. Yeah, for this you only need some tire glue, or super glue does work as well. I've got some CA glue right here. It's very, very thin. So you just take your glue. Be very carefully, because this stuff is super glue. It glues to your fingers in seconds. I only use little dabs. Just open up the tire like this. Focus. Focus. Okay. Open it up. Insert a little dab of glue. then you just work it in a little so you don't have glue sticking on the outside. So just like this. You can put glue on the outside, but I don't like it because it does not look good. So I'm going ahead and going to go 4 spots on the outside of the rim, 4 spots on the inside. See you when I'm done. So let's see, we glued up all the 4 tires. They're drying at the moment. So next step, we're gonna need 4 remaining metal bearings. These guys. As I mentioned earlier, don't use the plastic ones, they're pretty garbage. So we're gonna need the car. And oh, I forgot a step. We wanted to mount this guy. So this is supposed to go on like this. You need to remove 1 screw of the gearing right here, and place it in with your cooling part. I don't really know the perfect English word for this. So let's see. You go in there. See, I took the wrong screw right here. Where is my pliers? So see if this is wrong. Let's go back a step and see which MA2 3x10 is this one. Oh, it's a no, MA2. This one, 3x10 silver. That one. All right. Let's see. This one fits better, and it does. So, so this is kind of rattling. No, this is better. Still a little shaky, but okay, it's plastic, so we're gonna leave it in for now. So let's get back to this step. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do the front wheels. So we are gonna need these awesome disc brake looking hex adapters. Well, they don't want to break loose, so we're gonna have to force them a little. Oh, not just by a little. So they're attached at 3 points. We got one. So front is right here. Let's see. Then we need one of those, which is one of the most annoying parts if you drop them and you have to search for them. So it goes, always be careful with these. First, ball bearing, little lubrication. Then you're going to place it inside here. You can take your pliers and help yourself a little bit. Then we're going to use our safety pin and put it in half. Or let's see if I can zoom in and show you guys. Hope this is good enough. My camera does not want to focus anymore. So this part has some grooves in it, as you can see here. So we're going to push it on like this. Make sure it goes over this pin. And check if it worked. If you wiggle it around and it moves the other driving components. So this seems good. Take your wheel and slide it on. So make sure that everything fits perfectly. And then we're going to need a nut. This one. And our trusty wheel tool. Just put it in and screw it on and tighten down fairly. So don't go too hard. You wreck your fingers and you wreck the nut. So let's do all 4 of these and then come back. So you're going to notice something if you go along. We have the standard wheel hubs like this one, which is for the front, or if you have a narrow wheelbase. But we want the wide wheelbase, so we're going to use these. These are included of a bag. So don't make that mistake and put on the wrong ones. Oh, looks good. Forget everything I said. This seems to be wrong. Okay, we're going to need the standard ones, because these are too narrow. So the actual axle of the wheel is too narrow in this kit. So I guess we're going to use standard width. I'm butchering the English language, I'm very sorry, but I can't work against my German accent. So let's go ahead and put this one on. Okay, this fits better. Now let's take a look at that. Now it's starting to look like a car with all the wheels mounted, and make sure that you don't get super glue on your finger. Okay. Let's see. We got the tires mounted up. In this step are the back wheels explained. They're exactly like the front. So now attach the rear body mounts. So we're gonna go to the rear of the car, right here. Oh, let's clean up this mess a little. We are gonna sort this out later. So the body mounts are B6 and B5 in the front. So B6, we're gonna go like this. Where exactly are you going? Okay, you can push them in and secure them with MB2. These are the hex screws. This one. So let's see. Goes in very nice. This is tight. Take the other one, push it off. I'm not going to clean the tops here because we're going to cut it down anyways, because I do not like the way that the body mounts stick out of the car when you leave it like this. So another hex screw, there it is, trusty screwdriver. Looking good. Take the front ones, B5, these guys, same in the front, push them in, next one, push it in. You're gonna have to wiggle a little because they're very, very tight. Like this. Again, the hex screws, or the hex screws with Phillips head. It's called Phillips head, right? It's in Germany we would say Kreuzschlitz. It's made for cross slit, but that does not sound correct if you say it in English. I think it's Phillips head screw, but no, I don't really care. So nice and tight, not too tight, metal and plastic. So you are supposed to attach the stickers, the caution stickers on the car. I don't really mind that. I know exactly where the car gets out and where not. The car gets out right here. This one moves, so don't get your fingers in there. And yeah, you can put the stickers on if you like, but I do not. So unnecessary weight. Okay, now to the bumper. Where did I put the bumper? I think it's made its way all the way right here. Yep, there it is. So this is our urethane bumper. We are going to go to the front of the car, push it on. This is critical. I mean, it looks kind of off, but mount it. It's a little weight on the front, not really much, but you're gonna need it because it absorbs everything that you throw to it, and you're gonna crash if you are new to the hobby, and if you're experienced, you're also gonna crash. So mount it. Then we're gonna need this part right here, which is B7. Align it over the holes, push it down a little. Then MA2. These are 3x10 There are 4 holes in the parts, but we're supposed only to use 2 screws, and the bumper itself differs if you have got a TT-02 with a different body. The main chassis is the same. So the chassis and the car itself is a TT-02, whether you buy the Porsche or if you buy, I don't know, I think there's a Nissan, there are quite a few. So this is done. So according to our trusty manual, this was the last real step. Now we are gonna have to check for our battery strap. Right here. Gonna clean this up a little. Perfect. Remove all this right here. This goes on just like this. You secure it with some body pins. And then our body goes on. But before we can do this, I will have to sort this out. I will solder on a new connector. I will not do this on camera because my soldering is kind of wacky. So let me get back to you when I'm finished with the soldering and the cleaning up. Let's see, we got the car completed, the chassis completed. I tidied up my wiring job here. I do not like it if the cables are flopping around. So I used the zip ties which are in the package to tidy this down. There's some, I did not have something precise to cut them, so it is how it is. So seems to be. I just saw something. This is the front. Of course, I put the bumper on the back because everybody else is behind me here. Sorry. Okay, let's change it up really quick. I've built plenty of TT-01s and DT-03s. I've got an M06, link to the video with the M06 right here, with Volkswagen Bug, or as we say in German, Volkswagen Käfer body, which is looking pretty amazing, and which is one of my favorite cars. I've got many RC cars, but the little Bug just has a special place in my heart. And I also have out for the TT-01s, and I just like the realistic on-road cars. Wait a second. Oh, god damn it, I messed up. Hold up. Did I actually... actually put on the... dang it. Now I'm using a power tool again. Front and back of the car are easy to misjudge. So these go into the back of a car, and these are for the front. So let's see. Be very careful if you're doing stuff like this, because we're going into plastic. Plastic is not supposed to be extremely strong. So I'm just squishing it in to its slot right here. Yep. There we go. Stuff like this happens all the time, but in the RC world, there's not much drama to it. So if you have built one yourself already, you will actually know the struggle. Because I guess I'm not the first one to make this kind of mistake. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, this is kind of tight, 4. So now the car is completed. So we are going to do a little function check. Therefore I have a little car stand. I have quite a few actually. So I've got this one, and let's see, does it fit onto... Oh, that's kind of nice. So this one's 3D printed. I designed it by myself in like 10 minutes. So if you have a 3D printer at home and have a software for designing pieces like this, this is just an awesome little stand. You can build it like in very short amount of time. So I also mounted the switch directly to the ESC. There's a little slot there, you can just push it in and you're good to go. So let's see. We got some power, some. Backwards, forwards. We have a functioning RC car. So, let's see. How it does look with the clear body on it. So. Yeah, looks kind of right. Everything fits. This does not fit. So let's see. We've got a little problem here. You see here, the wheel arch is perfectly aligned with the wheel. In the back, not. We're too far to the back. So we need the short distance wheelbase. That's not a real issue, so we're gonna turn off the car at first. So we're gonna change something up. This is pretty easy, I guess. So, especially if you using power tools. It's going to be long as hell, and I'm gonna sit at my desk editing forever. So, or maybe I just put it up raw, I don't know.
Don't tell my wife I've got it. Don't. So, if you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you do not want to miss the next videos, this whole series of videos, in the next video I'm going to show you how to give this now clear body a nice color, and we are going to do our first run. Don't be scared, there are going to be some leftover screws and some leftover parts, because you have the optional receiver box that I did not use, you have some motor mount that I did not use that you can use if you want to go slower or have a high revving motor in it. I have another part from the receiver box and some screws that are spares or that I used in the same kit to build other cars, because these kits are designed to build other cars like the TT-02 or the S version, etc. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. My name is Philip, this was Knallgas TV. I see you in the next video.